As all of us here are aware, some of us more painfully than others, these are literally dangerous times for lovers of liberty. As Karen pointed out, our rights are under assault, our livelihoods are under assault, we're even physically under assault. It's not enough for writers like me to sit at home and send words out into the void pointing this out. We must have warriors willing to do the hard, courageous work of engaging the enemy on the front lines. The American Freedom Award is to honor those who have dedicated their lives to doing just that, fighting on the front lines in defense of freedom against totalitarianism. And as the video you just saw demonstrates, Bill Becker has made that commitment. He recognizes that we are in this political crisis because America is in moral and spiritual crisis. And fortunately for our side, the battleground to which he has chosen to apply his talents is the all-important legal arena where he is scoring victory after victory. The poet Yeats once lamented about his own time that the best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Well, I'm honored to be a friend of Bill and his wonderful wife Gigi for years now, and I can confirm that he has both the conviction and the passionate intensity to take on the enemies of freedom, of Judeo-Christian values, and of Western civilization itself, and to win. Ladies and gentlemen, freedom's lawyer, Bill Becker. The American Freedom Alliance is proud to present the 2019 American Freedom Award to Bill Becker in gratitude for his courageous and steadfast support of freedom of religion and of expression. Bill, congratulations, well deserved.
A little out-of-body experience here. I'm having my Sally Field moment. I think it's thank you, Mark, and thank you, Pastor Albrecht. Pastor Albrecht was my pastor for 2 decades and is retired now. Married my wife, Gigi, and me 13 years ago, and I'm very proud to have him give the blessing here tonight. I think it's quite a kick that we're in spitting distance of Universal Studios, where a movie called The Hunt was made about a bunch of left-wingers who were hunting and stalking deplorables for prey as sport. How hard can that be? We're right here. Just look over the lot. We're right here. Come get us. Anyway, thank you, Karen, Sigmund, thank you, Michael Greer, and thank you anybody else from AFA who made this decision to honor me tonight. This certainly must mean that a lot of potential worthy recipients are out of the country right now. I want to recognize my friends and past recipients of this award, Trevor Loudon and Phil Haney, both friends of mine. This puts me in excellent company. So I had planned to start my short speech, and it will be short because that's what I was told to do, by doing the personal pronoun joke, all right? He, him. Thanks, Mark. Anyway, that's how great minds think alike, I suppose. But my name is Bill Becker, and in the advertisements or the emails that were going out, it said my name was William Becker, which it is formally. But I asked Karen, why I was William Becker and Bill Whittle was Bill Whittle. And she said, out of respect, well, William Whittle I don't think would work, would it? But Anyway, don't mess with my personal pronouns either. And if you confuse your objective case with your subjective case, I'll be checking you on that, okay? Now, for more than 30 years, I've been a practicing attorney. For about 15 of those years, I've confined my practice to serving conservative freedom of speech and the cause of liberty. And for the past 6 years, I've done it as a tax-exempt 501c3 nonprofit public interest law firm, Freedom X. Thank you. People ask me what Freedom X means. Freedom X is shorthand for freedom of expression. And of course, it's exclusive, in my case, to conservative freedom of expression. I won't represent anybody on the left. I'm waiting for the first equal protection lawsuit to come my way, but I'm not worried about it. The X also is that variable in an equation, though, that you try to solve for. When you try to solve for X, and when you juxtapose it to freedom, you're really essentially asking, what is the price of freedom? What is it worth to you? How do you want to fight for it? I was born in America, from parents born in America. Dad was a career fighter pilot and a brigadier general in the Air Force, a veteran of 3 wars, a patriot who served and loved this country. Mom was a traditional housewife who raised 3 children in the Christian faith. Today they lie side by side at Arlington Cemetery, and they are the hard act I try to follow. This has been a remarkable year for me. As the film showed, I sued a Huntington Beach school district for violating the free speech and religious rights of elementary students who simply wanted to hand out promotional flyers for Bring Your Bible to School Day, when their principal said, you can't do that in a public school. Well, she was absolutely wrong. And so last month, the lawsuit forced that school district to revise its free speech policies and specifically state in those policies that religious speech is as protected as secular speech on campus. And so that was in January, and the settlement was last month. In March, I underwent double bypass open heart surgery. A reminder to me of how precious little time we are given in this life to serve a meaningful purpose. And now this, the distinction of receiving not just any award, but one called the American Freedom Award. Quoting Thomas Paine, those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must, like men, undergo the fatigue of supporting it. I can think of no greater honor than to be recognized for serving my country in the cause of freedom. I think, Lisa, the folks would be proud. I will continue to serve the purpose God has chosen me later this week when I file a lawsuit in Minnesota against the Mall of America on behalf of a Muslim convert to Christianity, Pastor Ramin Parsa. You may have read that he was arrested at the Mall of America last year on the contrived charges of solicitation and trespass after a Somali-American woman overheard him relating his spiritual journey to other Somali women who were intrigued by his story and complained, and this woman complained to the mall cops. An offended observer's complaint was all it took for a man's liberty to be taken from him. Last June, the Supreme Court held that the 94-year-old Blandensburg Peace Cross, a memorial to fallen World War I soldiers in Maryland, did not violate the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment. The plurality did not comment on whether the plaintiffs in the case, people who claimed they were offended by the cross because it was located on public property, could justify their assertion of legal standing to even bring their lawsuit. But in a concurring opinion, Associate Justice Neil Gorsuch took aim at the absurdity of the offended observer theory of standing. And he argued, in a large and diverse country, offense can be easily found. Really, most every government action probably offends somebody. No doubt, too, that offense can be sincere, sometimes well taken, even wise. But recourse for disagreement and offense does not lie in federal litigation. Instead, in a society that holds among its most cherished ambitions mutual respect, tolerance, self-rule, and democratic responsibility, an offended viewer may avert his eyes or pursue a political solution. In the 15 years that I've been litigating cases on behalf of conservative victims of viewpoint discrimination, targets of these offended observers, my only regret is that I haven't managed yet to save enough of them from the left's censorial tyranny. When Liam Neeson, portraying Oskar Schindler in the moving final scene of Schindler's List, voices frustration over having not saved enough people from the tyranny of Nazi forces, I can relate to the frustration. I wouldn't presume to compare myself with Oskar Schindler or the work I do of saving victims of conservative discrimination to the victims of the Nazi Holocaust. But his words I can relate to. As he told his accountant, I could have got more out. I could have got more. I don't know. I could have got more. If I'd had more money, I threw away so much money. You have no idea. If I didn't do enough. I could have gotten one more person, and I didn't. Well, sometimes I wonder, with enough financial support and additional resources, how much more I could do to protect the conservative victims of offended observers and to crush the insane policies of the left-wing establishment in California and elsewhere. I wish I could do more. Thank you for honoring me tonight, and may God continue to grant us the blessings of liberty in this, the greatest nation on earth.